What do you know about Nazis still being alive? Or the dark side of the moon? Do you think those are conspiracy theories? Do you know about Operation Paperclip? Have you debriefed yourself? Watch this. Nitwits are tripping often in dim-witted and toxic visions from liquid crystal depictions from Zionist reverse-engineered Nazi technologies to mess with and affect your chakras and energy. Prana is the essence of existence as within us at our nexus and core, replenished with this fiery liquid ball of agua perspiring psychic drips and drops of magnetic lava within our bodies. Why do you think we're warm-blooded and reptilians and Chitauris are opposite like Nagas are complementary forms of divinities foreign to many? I'm always in assistance to every, that's Bhakti for you, remember. Protect all sentient beings of the Sangha of Tara. Get dismembered quickly, then rotten by the warrior assembly of Genghis Khan's lineage. There's more to this than you think it. I'm a Kala King. I've said this often, but context please. I want to hex demons more who vex me and eat the morbid flesh of their beaming offspring. There's scores of evidence for this. This is poison for everyone. Why would anyone want to eat tortured kids and byproducts? Fuck off, you idiots. Intricately insidious, deceptive individuals with not for consciousness and sentience. How are you Homo sapiens if you're not thinking? You false apes and carnivorous simians have no form of sapience. Face it, you're borderline to the void in spirit. As I'm jotting and inking this, I'm traceless. Spar with me and get wrecked and lifted in an instant. Within a split second, microcosmic denizens of bygone forgotten densities spy on you every day and think with telepathy like spiders and moths that are next of kin, especially in China as ancestors and protectors, yes. So protect your necks, cause if I chop them to get respect, I'd say I warned you. Now get to bed, you tired, worn out idols are next to dead. My thoughts as zombies form inside you, but get this shit. My forces and zombies all combined would get you to trip this shit. And this isn't some cryptic script from an apocryphal kid. I'm a fire starter like Mbayo and taller minds like Bob Marley. So get on my level to get what this is and let's get specific. Honestly, reverse double torpedo helicopter flips towards my chest with oversized head machetes and I chop my hand and fingers for the 5th time in 100,000 flips in 4 years. Living in this indigenous lodge in the midst of Gaia in the wilderness. Fuck a hospital or a clinic, there isn't one. So you either fix yourselves and drink elixirs or you bleed to death. And if you see me flipping, you'd need assistance to be me, really. I could teach you, but it'll probably kill you if the scorpion and reaper peppers don't. Now eat your food and drink your liquor. What's the problem? It's on the house. I got you, player. I got you, player. Play on. You got the game, yes? Oh, you wanted to get famous and fortunate? Or is just some kind of contortionist that are extortionists at the same time and trafficking hard drugs with your insane minds, trying to talk like you're all hard dogs? I'd say you're blinded in a third eye sense. I wouldn't want to be ableist, you knavish, decrepit fucks. Face it, fuck you. Pay me. And you should thank me in the process. I'd say God is blessed, fuck your God, honestly. The tired crosses full of slave labor, diamonds in their optics like Jesus crying and bleeding to death on a cross that you think is actually gonna be redeeming you. Are you sick in the head? Originals from back in the days of Dwarpa in India, the Kemetic oracles of Egypt, the origins of gypsy peoples as Egyptians. They were northern Indians, Doms and Dalits, Ashuts in attendance to the Kayas and Favelas. They used to call us kings and princes in the streets, princesses and empresses, but liars and rich misers that lived to despise us, evicted us. Then we migrated across continents to Maghreb and across the Moorish peninsula. We flourished as scientists and artists, prodigies and polyglot linguists that walked across rifts between civilizations for forgotten. We practice the dark arts in the most primordial and ancient of senses. Mine is the star card that guides me into infinity. Star cards, but I get it. So many barcodes on your necks and bodies these days. While I author star codes, then body and hex your top 10. You know those Pop-Tarts had it coming, honestly. I'd mark them a lot longer, but I'm on a schedule. I got a lot more targets to mark as a sharpshooter. People's army always into the dark future. Zombies in hallways that start to shoot you. It's not Black Ops, Call of Duty 2, no. This is just my 2 cents. Afro-futuristic diasporic Tigane black magic tablets from Jerusalem. As a map and a blueprint to lavish tapestries of blue-hued kindred. Voodoo sentences, I'm not who you think me. I'm a flying hawk that you clueless and dying horrors could not copy. I am as Horus in my form as Ptah, yes. I was born this, till I scorned the knowledge and wisdom. Then I met Sekhmet and Bastet beyond this, both with alabaster skin, yes. Like the statue's kin, do you grasp this? I made it in the beginning with 50 tracks back then. When I was a tipsy bastard that acted as hectic as the backflip machetes I spit on an average of 10 to 20 times on a regular. When the sun is shining or in the midst of the blinding darkness. You pundits die quick if you study my shit. I'm no guru, I'm like the Punisher, don't mind me. I had to run with them whom you all would die with. In the midst of whipping winter's winds and blizzards in bare chests. I've done this with kin for training. If you're beginning to get what I'm scripting, then pay up your dividends as players. Your bills are heavy as shit for the rest of this existence. Now dead this shit or be bereft of breath as quick as your exit is. Now dead this shit or be bereft of breath as quick as your exit is. We are at the nexus of creation, kindred, remember this. It all started one day when my dealer was late in the underground parking next to my high school. We had smoked some opium the last time, and when I saw him, he looked pretty addicted, honestly. Hopeless and doped up, I needed a QP quick, but as I waited there and watched the graffitis on the wall shifting, I thought, whatever, I'll re-up tomorrow. Who cares if the dude is shifty or dubious? Honestly, that's just business, not a problem really. I walked back up, and when I hit the streets, a coupe pulled up right next to me. Some dude inside said my name and said, look, don't wait for your dealer, he's gone for a bit longer than you think it. He was ripping you off anyways, and he was way too expensive. I have way better shit, cheaper and AAA grade, the best of the best. Here's a cell and a pager, you work for me now, I report to Hell's Angels. If anyone ever fucks with your business, tell me, we'll snap their legs with baseball bats till they get the lesson. Hella strange synchronicities, this was back in 96. I was barely 15, nobody I knew could provide this level of protection or quality of ganja. He fronted me the whole business and told me simply, you pay me back whenever, I'll bring you more, whatever you wish, get it. Sounded like the best shit that could have happened to me, really. Fast forward to a year later, I'm across the country moving keys with one of the biggest drug dealers in history. We allied with the triads and left the house cause of bigots and dejected males. My syndicate's frail but we're headed for expansion. Like I said it back when I was living life in the streets like a skinny bones godfather. Part 3 was my favorite, like Shook One's Part 2. Since my juvenile hells on earth, I was truly beyond their rules and spells or curses. Murder music moved me to unveil my purpose. I told myself since early youth I'd be top 10 watch list, and the world is my proof and witness. From watch list to the charts unlisted, no words can construe what I've lived. From King Mob and Robin and the story of the Invisibles to killer bees on a swarm with the Punisher next to them. Empty-handed warriors and Babylon war child, sons of man and killer army, the lost children of Babylon, so remember always. The lost children of Babylon, remember always. from the ghetto, like chilling in Little Italy, next to where I was born in Kensington Market in Caranto. After the darkness falls and the feds are investigating homicides with the cops there, I slept in that park often and chilled in spark spliffs with goddesses beyond your comprehension, from times forgotten, that offered me gems and elixirs of the purest liquids foreign. That was during the times of the first Mutant Academy Lodge then. Deep as the sea, sleepless, I was reborn in the midst of recording sessions with Trinity and St. Catherine's. That was my first love, and Nikito take whack back then. Say my name backwards 3 times while you stare at your reflection in a mirror and see me shining in the dark. Yes, I've changed the face of the atlas for a lot longer than any of your favorite artists and rappers. Acknowledge this or fall back, polish your Glocks and try to war with me. I got katanas and wakizashis on my feet from lords and masters that gave up, and this isn't some tall tale. Say my name to a Yakuza or Triad and ask them what they think of Okami Amaterasu by Kalki. I am a Morikawa from when I was born first. I stay in between mountains now, that's where my hearth warms me. I've survived so many worse horrors than I could say here. I am the first Tsigani in my lineage to break these kinds of records. Black magic is not what you think it. I've inked enough stories of my past tenses that I could just reference some form of semantic expressions of all that I've lived by answering this and telling you ponder the sands of time and Dios Intifada when the goddess returns. How many moksha diosas have you honored lately? Earn your whole existences and reincarnations. Karma isn't a bitch, she's a goddess exquisite, but I promise if you think this, you'll all but live it. Now breathe in some pure prana, you hollowed idiots. I breathe smoke that wafts from the mapacho and ganja spliffs that Mott offered me as medicines. She paid for my face tats too. I'm not rude, I'm an agent of chaos and change like the Joker. My rap crews, you joke if you heard all of the names, but if you're that fool and you ask for credentials, I tell you just check my actual page as an academic. It all links up, and if I have to mention what I was doing in my spare time back then, that's off the record. Black ops in the streets often, yes. Now match the bottom of my top speed and I'll laugh as you're not need. Or off yourselves, you do not see me. Reefer Thoughts. You don't want beef with the goddess. Speaking honest. I sit in a smoky room that's more of a lounge with a studio that's a lunar dojo to Shintos and Buddhist script words and flip swords so fluidly you'd think that my sweat dripping was dewdrops. Then I sip some liquor and spew facts like Tupac in interviews or through rap. I'm intricately woven with true love. People often tell me, how could you possibly do that? I'm like 24 hours to live and a lot of time distortions with gospels and blue writs. I've often got the blues, yes, but don't confuse this with obtuse raps from New Jacks that never knew or had a clue what the fuck was going on around the globe when they thought they had been crowned the dopest. Sit down, you dope heads. Now listen, there is no artist that's the best at anything except for the opinions of fans and listeners. Now answer this, how does this damn kid flip the script on us every time? You'd be thinking, that's cause I'm Damien to this industry. Plus I dead the zombies effortless with deadly rhymes that are warheads. Heavy artillery but nabi, that's just my claws, son. Do you copy? Kikwaku, I got you lockjawed and not need just from the hot sauce. You wanna try the hot pot after and flip a pile of weapons while you have a lot of visions of your death at the hands of a martial expert. But I'm self-taught, I'm a gypsy, remember. You try to kill me or trick me, hell's got you evicted in the void. Now tell a friend please and listen to this noise attentively, like I was printing poisonous bricks of medicine from Sensi. Rastafari, I and I part the lies from the dark skies of apartheid and the heartless. I and I part the lies from the dark skies of apartheid and the heartless. You're dominant like small-minded macho men. I'm dominant like beyond Omega level mutants on the scale of Kardashev. We live in the midst of a frail Sodom and Gomorrah with alien monsters, but we are the underdogs like Rastas to Christians. Do not dismiss this just because it's a stream of thought consciousness. Listen, you do not want to be in opposition to the Black Lotus Sangha revolt motion. All of our collectives are the coldest and boldest, yet harder than scorpions and put holokias fermented for years in a lodge that was here for the past 7 generations of peers, indigenous, seers, limitless and shamanic. We were even here during World War II, resisting as a Japanese family protected by the spirits of the rivers and forests. That's a Morikawa story of shoguns. You'd shiver from it if you knew what it was like to hide from the Nazis, but we fought back like samurais did. I saw all these stories in my head when I was tripping in the frosty winter on high security in the psych ward section on a cot, which they used to inject me quite often, literally, which was used before this as an electrocution bed in the midst of darkness with the shutters closed. I'd make you shudder, Holmes, if you knew what I've been through since my brothers died. I'm an Avenger, discover the ties I have to the rest of the globe, and you'll wonder why you said some shit I could snuff you for. Discover repentance, you utter fools, or I'll have to bust up your faces with knuckle dusters. But fuck it, face it, you fuck faces, a bucket list to me. I don't trust racists, you fucking rapists are much worse though. Just one letter still, just one letter still.
Down, don't wanna be thugs, adapt the gas down, then bow down. Hold the fuck up, see how I'm found now, then crack down. Don't wanna be thugs, adapt the gas down, then bow down. Hold the fuck up, see how I'm found now.
Nightmares, I have them often like bright stairs from rancid coffins. You might fear this, recant me and scoff me. I breathe answers for prodigies that believe in championing Gaia. Yes, deceivers, I slam them and slaughter them often. So I grieve for martyrs that died in the process of my dreams, but I'm happy with mine, honestly. A lot of you seem fearful of the man in society, but then you speak eerily, dandily, and softly, and you reek of sobriety when you banter and talk shit. I'm Legion, I have 33 personas inside me, spawned in expansion from 11 at my core. I breathe weeds from Chinese doctors and ganja from Rastas, cough my poncho and snort happy, while you lying imposters eat garbage and snort poisons. You clean your bodies like your lodges and apartments with chemicals and toxins. No wonder the hospitals are morgues filled with hollow zombies dying, and politics are as shallow and deadly as the Amazon and Nile rivers, filled with monsters that'll rip you apart in an opposite sense like religions and the rest of this system. New world orders where your cool clear water is at. Do you get it? From the tap with fluoride and chlorine like Hitler did it. I have more dreams for you in liquid crystal depictions at Nazi frequencies to trick you into Hollywood deceptions. Nah, in mind though I'm parleying with Avengers, plotting for the fall of the Zionist economy and centralized system. Center yourselves away from lies, diss and dismiss them and your wayward ties. You may just think he's just swaying ink. Where's this flow at? Go listen to my old ship if you wish to trip, yes. But remember this, I spit with wit a lot better and sharper than liquid swords. I spit with wit a lot better and sharper than liquid swords. Raw tension and high voltage like electric centrals from Tesla. Sorrowful omens, cop 10 of your men. Meet me at Tiananmen Square for the square off. Doibuchi, while I wonder, slice your ears off. That's my feedback for your weak raps if you need that. Now watch your souls, yes. I flow so potent when you talk, you're ghosted before they chalk your bodies and you roast in hells. So much going on in the globe from frail men that are imposters. No goals and soulless rosters in the industry. Your soul food looks like toxic glop to me when you eat piles of chickens that are immortal, limitless as phoenixes. Those are babies you cop for nutrition. I'd cop a Glock and off you quicker than poisonous bricks that waft you sense of sense to me, reminding you that awkward chemicals in your bodies make you into false simians for the slaughter. The new world order is oft quick. Change the game up and mania famous presidents and knavish officers. We are like Resident Evil survivors, zombie hunters in the middle of whipping winds in an atomic winter. Walk the right direction in the midst of a frosty blizzard. Talk to Inuits if you want to survive this. Yes, we thrive in subarctic climates. Live as all hells when we walk in the nexus of caustic bardos and your tall tales that couldn't resist the forms of encryptions we talk of. Flip the script quickly before you get tripped up tripping from liquid crystalline visions. You sick fucks are just eating bits of flesh from children for your twisted pleasures. We are Ital like Rastas and Gaelic tribes forgotten from ancient islands. Don't fail the test from Professor K or Kambata, or you'll miss your existence as often. Prayers, I have a lot for Pachamama. 333 Sunashana chakras, they spring up like malabees as they glisten as discs of energy primordial. Do you get this or who I am? Cops drop the charges. I told you I'm bipolar and schizo-effective. I am not of your kind. We are the future of humankind, though, as Dr. Hoffer said it. Nada in mind, but we got lots of credit. You got rosters, we drop you imposters with sharpened katanas, thousandfold like my vengeance. Forget 7 or less. I'm into shamanic infinity to punish the wicked and sever their heads. I'm in dungeons as explicitly pungent as ghettos back in the midst of the US and Canada, smelling of spliffs and liquor wafting from the perimeter inside it. When we were living and squatting in the west in a vivid metropolis, we were drinking and recording constantly, spitting at ciphers and graphing up spots like McDonald's. With meat as murder and dairy as rape, do you see me worth this? I'm very enslaved by the rhythm, but it frees me wordlessly. Tarian wisdom with meted service. I'm the clever system that you need for your thirst. Hear me and listen. Breathe in purpose, don't be seedy persons or demon nurturers. We're living in a dream, it seems like Neo searching for the key to this greedy and murky elitist church, being toppled or even repurposed as an art form. Like cathedrals were made into art centers and skate parks instead of heartless and demented prayers. From coffins emanating from lost ones worshipped in the process of earth being laid to waste with garbage. Make your way to your karma, it'll hit you hard like expired debts on your credit cards. Fly with ink and wings in these dreaded thoughts. I'd rather sink and swim with the shamanic drugs and let the slugs skim the surface when I hit the sub. I'd rather sink and swim with the shamanic drugs and let the slugs skim the surface when I hit the sub. Of all that I've succeeded or failed in, I bleed for my peoples always. I am not of the ilk of frail men, far beyond this gender and its brailled sentence. I am the ink you do not think or speak of all too often. I'm demented in appearance in my language and softly coughing from some hashish and tobacco spliffs or coffee to wire me into thinking it's all fine in this existence. But it's a horrid apocalypse of zombie citizens. Have you seen them all when you go to the grocery store or the clinic or hospital? It's not like I'm saying this for horrorcore reasons. The core of this belief is as rational and empirically formed as science is in its aboriginal forms. We're living in the age of Wendigo's offspring, but those non-beings are writhing and coughing from body parts that they slaughtered and admired often in their plates to force this horrid flesh into their toxic stomachs, born from gorgeous entities beyond the comprehension of these zombies and vampiric constituents orcish. This isn't science fiction or speculative at all, and I'm a lot more than a reporter. I'm a day walker, stalking and staking their morbid kin with flawless centaurs. Mythologically I'm kin to Vishnu, since I was born in this existence as a Goraknati. But in my final form in this society and system, I'm meant to be like a rider and Genghis and Pak, combining forces to end this nonsense in an industry that force feeds flocks of aborted consciousness, then scoffs and feeds upon their flesh. You're a lot more than diseased and at the dawn of death if you don't abort your mission and report for your sentences. I am the sword of your deliverance, always at assistance for the goddesses and oracles, caught up in the midst of this Babylonic history. Cattle prods and sick machines, acid farmers with twisted schemes. Did you know that they have to hire serial killers and rapists for slaughterhouses? Cause that's what they always do inside them. It's not just factory farms that are the problem. Fact is, you're lost in the fact that you're not facing facts when you talk like this isn't the greatest mass extinction we've lived in this history. I live alone in the mountains often, the coldest winters for 8 months. Kanata's no joke, come live in a wind tunnel in Mothafucka Valley. There's no alleys to wander here, no cities and no towns. The closest village is a hamlet that's a ghost town. I mountain bike to go train on the highway just to pick up a few brews, and I hope to goddess that I'll make it home safe when it's pitch black with cold drifts of snow and wind whipping. All you see is the headlights, the rest is pure darkness. I could have froze to death many times, but I chose life for a reason. I needed to lay low after all that shit with Punisher in the academy in my subarctic metropolis. Funny how some of you laugh at me often and think I have mental problems. Nah, I'm cold training and problem solving, Muay Thai endurance with ninjutsu poisons and drunken style. So you get when I cough cess and ganja, I'm sunken deep in my subconscious. I'm Captain Nemo training to off you all if you're not in harmony with Pachamama. I chose so many names cause Legion evolves alone into infinite planes. Every Navy SEAL has a past, like covering up tats with a 3-piece and a turban. I breathe peace but I murder on the mic often, and off the record it's not shit I like to talk of. So talk respectfully. If you saw me when I'm drinking hot sauce with Reefer Pepper, you'd be like, believe him, gee, he's deadly. So many diseased people in a century, how can we be easily what we're meant to be? I breathe weeds cause essentially that's what we need in this density. Shamanic relief from the pressure, polish your dreams like a gem with it. Always relieve stress, otherwise you'll die grieving your kindred. There's so many dying in need of assistance. Can you see why I'm a lot more than some kind of a CD lyricist? I'm a neurological hacker and mastermind while you laugh and cry in the midst of torpors asinine. Bask in crimes as awkward as blasting nines. But I promise when you get chalked up you'll be asking why. You'll be asking why. left and right, but I pick myself up, keep falling into fights. I'm a trickster in hell's suffering, they keep balling to the death like lifers, followed by some breathless biters. If that's most of your whole crew, how could you just exist or fight back? You're right fam, I don't live your life exactly. I might have thought, or I could have surpassed your flow and status and still been a real living legend like I have been. Since the beginning of this madness, I've grabbed guns and hatchets, Colts, Berettas, Smith & Wessons and shotguns. But what's this existence we're trapped in? I blot the sun sometimes like a lunar eclipse. It just depends who and where you are when you view this shit. Still I keep falling, cause when I do this shit, I'm only as mythical as my next move is literally. But the future doesn't exist really, so it depends. The present is an illusion, the Buddhists were wrong. So you simply need to build from the past that surrounds you, everywhere like a ghastly reflection of sounds and synesthetic depictions deadlier than any, that make you fall into Tibetan bottles in winters frosty, and I got at the edge of the depths of Himalayas. You keep falling into pits of liars and abysses of fire. If you think you're the kings or sires, I know only of one Yeshua Messiah, Yesaya, blend them with fire. All their empires, shun them and fly as high as the slums and the skies. Keep falling forward till you're done with dying. Don't walk to their fortresses mired to stop and admire them. They often catch you like a fish on a line when you're exhausted with some specific contracts. They tell you we'll make you all into the richest royalties, but it's a sick trick they caught you in. Keep falling and watch them drift like deep thoughts of apocalypse. Don't let them make you fall into deep sleep and liquid crystal depictions of Nazi technologies. The world is mind, remember this. It's all in your heads, your hearts and your energies, consciousness. It's all in your heads, your hearts and your energies, consciousness. No masters, no cages, no rules, no saviors, no rulers, no racists, no bigots, no rapists, no idiots, no knaves, no sicknesses and no aging, no witnesses cause no crimes, no simpletons and no time, no aces, no belittling and no prayers, no religions but so many faiths in the Holy Spirit like Omen, name Akaras, no Gaijins, just soulful natives, golden Ainus and Ruroni Ronins from times bygone, no false myths of God the Father and no submission to Allah, just the goddess trinity of the Kaaba. No laws and no precincts, no cops, no courts and no cases, no bought out prosecutors or lawyers, no racist judges profiling, no makeshift progress from mayors that won't budge when you talk of their budgets. No guns and no slugs, just blades and bare hands and knuckles like back in the days of sacred ages and warriors. No thugs and no players, no drugs and no hatred. Lots of medicines regardless like awesome liquors and spirits for holistic sapience. No misfits, no mystics, no dichotomies or statistics. No lotteries, no winners cause it implies an opposition and hierarchy and no sentences. No liars and no wretches, no hired politicians, no authorities or opposition. No wars or weapons, just tools to evolve our subconscious senses. No fortunes, no poor or rich, no clauses or dogmas, no doctrines, but a lot of morals and ethics, always intrinsic like intersectionalism in all forms of existence. No xenophobia, no gender phobia or dysphoria, no ableists or machos, no misogynists, no queer phobia, no messiahs or false prophets, no carnivorous hosts of our demise, no factory farms and no animal ag, just actual rastas with ganja Polyester and magical bags. Free your consciousness and blast up some hashish in my pacho. No bad trips and no overloads, just gran padre la verdad y gran madre de mitología. Cannabis indica and sativa. I'm a hybrid being from the timeless regions I speak of. I'm a hybrid being from the timeless regions I speak of. Governments and cops, as much as I'd say fuck the corrupted puppets on your block that are not dogs, that are destruction of Gaia. Fuck the drugs that they push as culprits and fucking liars, talking as much shit on the mic as they're corrupting, admiring kids and their instructors with their hype. Fuck the lot of you who think Revolt Motion Records is garbage. Fuck religions and the horrors they worship. Fuck your systems and warships. Fuck your nuclear heads and bombs dropped. Fuck your democracies, imams and ayatollahs. Fuck your cardinals and popes, yes. Fuck your stardom cause we're broke kids. Fuck your orders and the laws that you think of. There's nothing new under the sun, so think twice. Fuck the garbage that you dumped, like the bodies you raped and tortured in slums and farms, like the factories where you auction souls and flesh to jump on. Fuck your nobilities, killing sprees and idiotic politicians of villainy. Fuck your whitewashed comics, Bibles and Torahs. Fuck your slave labor constructs. Fuck your plantations, we all know slavery's not dead. Fuck your organ and sex traffic. Operation Underground Railroad, we got this. Support your non-profits, local communities and grassroots. Fuck the world bankers, fuck your false prophets. The world should thank me for the song, but fuck compliments honestly, cause it comes with its opposite in karma, and that's truth. Fuck apologies to you fucks, I don't acknowledge your existences. Fuck your colonies and districts. Fuck your societies and mystics, your mystery schools. Fuck your tired statistics and higher education. Your hired lies and news about psyops and lies. I'm a dissident, mind you. Fuck your televised revolutions to blind fools. Fuck big pharma and Nazi poisons like crystal meth. Fuck what you use to cure yourselves if it's synthetic. Fuck testing on animals, fuck testing on anyone. I was a test subject, you wouldn't want the side effects witness, it's deadly son. Fuck HARP and their weather guns. Fuck their underground bases and bunkers, their triggered nukes in suitcases. Fuck a blanket sky to cool down to a new world. Hopi prophecies, that's all I wanna believe in.
Rayas.
Let's break it down for a second. We're a lot more than anyone can think of in subatomic essence and particles spinning and revolving at lightning speeds and beyond this. It's frightening to seize this and marvelous also. I strike with speeches but not so in the senses you ever intended. This isn't intended for you if you did repent from this form of systemic oppression we call a limited existence. Monsters and zombies infesting us often in all kinds of densities. We're at war with them and mankind is infected by all these psychic vampires and wretchedly damned liars. The recipes I chime of are solutions and blueprints to beautiful futures, like blue Buddhas of medicine and truth, yes. Just don't forget Tara, Kali and Guanyin. We move units beyond this in quantum senses. Surashana chakras as formless as gems inside you, and 216 is a phoenix. Profit by them when they blindingly spin. These are the times of the dreamers and timelessness, and Madre Tiempo aligns with this in sentences. Grasp this or you'll die in the mentions of acid of all of these lies you were meant to clash with but worshipped instead. My scriptures are ranked as warship vessels. Reverse quintuple torpedoes with machetes swarm all of your forms of evils and lecherous morbid sequels. Test me or be gone quick, but get this, I am a deadly weapon as a sword of destiny. Valhalla honors me as such, and I am a lot more than you could ever afford to bargain. I'm effortless and priceless, benevolently violent when I tell you that ahimsa is silence. I am on infinite islands, formless and bornless, as intricate as forms of pixies from flora and fauna, a limitless kindred from all of these parts. We are primordially indigenous with gorgeous hearts. We are primordially indigenous with gorgeous hearts. I'm a badass motherfucker, you rap trash and I snuff you, that's that. I'm not bluffing, you fat cats aren't as tough as me. You blast gats, but your puppets seize this. I'm a roughneck when I bleed you. Protect yours quickly before it gets redder, I see you. I love red rum at a wedding, believe it. Get done up like it was the second coming of Yeshua, that's Jesus. I'm an apocryphal hacker with encrypted scriptures that dead your substance, yes sir, reread this. Get deaded with puns as big as the heads of my King Kukri machetes. Oh, you wanted a dulce de leche and a hot tea with some honey before your recording session? You mumbling motherfuckers should be as destitute as your lecherous corrupted bigots. In sentences are physically enough then. I sever your heads with slithering tongues of deception. You Hasidic fuckers that think the religions of submission for women and children is legitimate and blessed in function. Your flawed dogmas, doctrines and ethics of a horrid God the Father and his false heavens archonic in the midst of a void in the cosmos are all privilege, protection, patriarchal. You insidious heteronormative conquerors pretend to be filled with humility and healing breezes instead of the villainous killing sprees inside you in speeches. You're genocidal tyrants to indigenous members of the Sangha and diaspora beyond this. You're all Wendigo's offspring and worshippers toxic with voided logic like the lords of your top 10 in this industry of garbage. We lock in a couple of extended clips like ARM. Extend the arm and click the triggers to dead your nonsense. Now you rot in compost in your next breath, but eventually you'll get to blossom depending. Maybe you'll be a rock or a mineral, or you'll get to be a wild bush of ganja with some insects upon it. If you're respectful when we all but off you, you might have to trip for a little bit as you die and the blood softly trickles and wafts outside of your body. Get this, it's a form of immortal elixir for Pachamama to flourish endless. It's a form of immortal elixir for Pachamama to flourish endless. And this is all just the beginning of the end, get this. It's a mass extinction. Class is never dismissed, it's endless. It's always in session, and I am not a professor. But I am self-prophecy manifested. That's your 7th sense. The 8th is shamanic. The 9th is world messenger. Creationary abilities anoically speaking, sophianically and metagnostically. Back at it with crafted magic and mathematics. Mathématiques en métamathématiques. J'suis le gars que tu ne vois pas, tu déballes le fric et les gonzesses. Mais ce sont toutes tes thèses que tu disrespectes. What's wrong, mec? Did you think because I spit in French for a little second I'm just a garbled idiot gargling sentences? I am from the Starship Alliance of penmanship. Je suis de l'autre côté des choses qui ne sont pas ça. Tu te crois roi, mais tu crois quoi? Tu ne nous vois pas comme Tupac Amaru ou Shakur. Je te l'ai déjà dit souvent, prépare-toi pour des tragédies et des coups de vent. Je te l'ai dit 3 fois comme jadis. Don't talk in the mirror, call me. Show and prove like a Shari with a new world order. I hope you new jacks and new cats have some new hacks and news instead of new hats and spewed horrors. I don't do conscious rap, dude, nah, I do honesty. I'm far from lewd compared to you artists. You wish you were me, true honestly. You get new diseases from what you eat, it's truly garbage. It's not food, it's feces from beauteous Sangha beings that you slaughtered. I'm true to Tata and Buddha always. I'm a blue being authored from moonbeams and hallways. Chandrakalas in the cool evening, your all days. You're moody demons, so cool it off and travel to new regions. Spark haze, guardians of the Dharma, we truly are in all ways. So who are you? You don't ask, who is we? We are unity in task forces. You spew diseases on the atlas like Black Ops, distributing crack rocks in communities of the Ummah and stars beyond this. From the US to across the continents, they bombed us with nonsense and troops of veterans that are toxic nuisance. I'm Black Lotus Sangha when I spew this. I am an Onimusha warrior with blueprints like Imhotep and Khufu. For you architects are school fools that drop shit on a regular, but the edition. I did it quicker than anyone could ever think of. Now head to bed and think up a new form of existence, you clueless stars. As worn out as the formless fits that you've worn as misfits. You're clueless small rats. While I do this, you're sinking your ball caps. I'm all that and a lot more, so fall back. I'm all that and a lot more, so fall back. Existence is a covert operation like Black Ops. You would wish you could ponder the primordial nature of my black thoughts, or the roots of the reflections eternal I was raised on like black stars. I black out often and not just on tracks or in sueños. I got a lot of acid farmers in my veins, yes. If they popped you on an IV with me, you would die as swiftly as antimony in liquid form or in the flesh. You'd get so high and tipsy you'd lack a path to walk on quickly. But talk on, I got you, I promise. Now let's go toe to toe. Walk an inch in my bare feet in the frosty snow at -60 in subarctic winters. In a godless metropolis of robbers and looters, crystal meth traffickers and forced prostitution, with crooked cops that are at war with you and your kind. There's a war going on inside us and outside, yes. I'm a mutant hybrid professor and warrior kindred, but I'll show you why chalking you idiots wouldn't scare me at all. No, get this, I'm not that dude that you could act rude with in a rap battle, then hug it off like some fake MMA shit. You trap and babble shit and I slay or slaughter you. Your choice, Aki. You wanna do drunken style and crane pose or Tadasana, while we freestyle with razor-honed wakizashis. I'll make you order a couple bottles more, yes. Your choice of sake or 151 overproof rum, possibly. Maybe moonshine or vodka in the morning when you wake up. You wanna do ayahuasca and rape, hey, fuck it. With a mamba and combo session before we start the drinking. You got me all thinking it's all a comedy act to you fools, but I'd probably slap your dudes too. You're probably that cat with a deuce, that's your caliber. Mine is as oversized as the proof of my liquors and spirits. Yours are just sober lies when you kick it with gorgeous goddesses you call. And you wicked nitwits must be tripping on all that hot shit you dropped as often as you were sick with it, and coughing from chronic with a lot of twisted chemicals and poisons inside you. You must have had some prescriptions from the wrong doctors to fade you like Dre's shit. You knavishly falsified apes are as ridiculous as your conscious critics, and haters are just obviously legitimate voices of change and dissenters of your idiotic fables. Trip quick upon this wisdom as a moth's wings flip next to me in my lodge and it chills for a session of meditation upon the mythically deathless blades of my shotgun machetes. I get that you all crave an exit from the garbage you ingest and spit as garbled slaves in an industry where stardom reigns, as long as you've got a contract that promises you fame and riches with slavish women. But all you're promised is death and graves in the process for all those who decided to join you in your quest for fortune at the expense of your spirits, hearts, and consciousness. Spark a mapacho split for a change and waft some ganja with it. Say kenkatlazo kamati welmiak. Talk to a rasta or an Aztec kindred about switching to an ital diet. Your nutrition's pathetic. Yeah, I know, I drink like a fish, but fermented liquids are the best shit to drink with. The 80% of crystalline agua in my body is probably coffee and liquor that's indigenous, and the hottest hot sauces on Gaia with some spring water mixed in. You talk often and I get bored quick, cause it's all some simpleton logic. I learn more valuable shit from half listening to blasphemous misfits or Catholic sisters. Now pack up your shit, all of you! Don't make me laugh myself half to death if you bother me! Graves of this industry of hip-hop full of knavish gimmicks and slick talkers. As a eulogy today, I'd like to address such topics as karma, misogyny, queerphobia, and patriarchy, ignorance and bigotry, materialism and mimicry, much like plagiarism, really, or capitalism in this oligarchic system. Do you think that those silly imps you listen to will really give back in the days of Greece and Rome, where politics and systems were forged from. Molesting children in gymnasiums to supposedly educate them. Can you imagine what the music you keep on your hit list of favorites like P. Diddy or the rest of them like R. Kelly did to the kids in your vicinity? Pray thee. Do you see what we live in like Marilyn Manson? Are you dismayed, Ken? You look livid like beautiful people or crooks and convicts shook up in prisons like Shook One's Part 2. I am a godfather of hip-hop in this existence, mind you. Do you grasp who I am? I stand today here amongst you fools, sitting to wish for better tomorrows to those cold corpses whose letters you honored as veterans. Honestly, I am the effortless foreigner who deads the lies they were filling you with often. Can you remember how many times they used topics to disrespect women as goddesses? They called them... I'm sorry if this is a lot more repetitive than you thought at all their shit combined. You brainwash yourselves into listening to honor them properly and better. But listen, fools, your top 10 is a lot of idiots and marks. I'm a marksman that marks targets, quick get it. Now my apologies, but I got another appointment for a sermon at the church next door for the washed up rock stars that you and your next door neighbors often worshipped in bars and on the radio. I wouldn't want to be late for that.